Hello, my name is Christopher Smith, and I want to start off by saying thank you to the Garden Route International Film Festival for programming Currency, and thank you guys for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. So Currency came to be, I was looking around online for my next film that I'd like to make, and I really wanted to make a thriller that was set in an environmental context, because we saw a lot of thrillers in more social issue films, but we hadn't really seen them as much in environmental films. And so when I came across the story of Paul and MCC, I immediately felt like this might be a story that I'd like to tell and that would be worth sharing with the world. So I reached out to them, and within a few weeks I was in Cambodia filming my first interviews and the first footage of the film. And while on the island meeting Paul, I also was first introduced to Matt. Matt is the journalist in the film, and when I started talking to him and realizing that he'd been doing reporting in this for a long time, and he was kind of really the only person up to this point who had reported extensively on the outlaw things that were happening on the oceans around Cambodia, I realized that he'd be a perfect character for the film and someone to team up with. And so that's how the film got started, and we traveled around together investigating a lot of things, a lot of it which didn't make it into the film, unfortunately, but we had some pretty hair-raising moments, but then again, we also had some really magical moments and some really inspiring moments, a lot of which you've seen by watching the film. So since the film, we wrapped filming and editing on the film, the Marine Fisheries Management Area is underway. They're dropping the blocks, and that's quite a big project because there's more than 70 sites where they have to build these underwater block structures. They are continuing education in the villages with locals to educate them around the purpose of the MFMA and the new laws and what's permitted and what's not, and how it's really going to benefit them in the end. Since then, they've seen a lot of wildlife returning. There have been an increase in dolphin populations and fish populations. The electric trawling and illegal trawling is still a pretty big problem. They're no longer allowed to go on patrols to track down these vessels, but with the more blocks that they're dropping in and the more education, I think they're going to start to see that to decline. MCC's got a number of grants and other fundings, partially driven by the film at film festivals so far, including, I think, about $12,000 in grants that we could attribute directly to audiences like you watching the film. So that's been a really great plus for them. And once the film is released on November 17th, we're hoping to see even more impact and more support of MCC as an organization. Matt has gone on to be a hired correspondent for the Thomson Reuters Foundation, and he's working still in Cambodia, but this time for this job, he's focusing a little bit more, well, almost entirely on human trafficking, and then on the side, he's doing a little bit of environmental reporting and freelancing. And as I mentioned, the film will be available coming November 17th worldwide. So if you enjoyed the film, please tell people about it. It'll be available on Amazon Prime, Google Play Store, Vimeo On Demand, and iTunes. We're really hoping to get as many people to watch it in the first week as possible. So please tell your friends and family. You can follow the film on Facebook. It's under facebook.com/currencyfilm. And then we have a website, currencyfilm.com. Lastly, I just want to say a big thank you to all the people who put themselves in harm's way to protect the environment and to report on those protecting the environment. Thank you. Have a good night.